Hello Scorpio, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Scorpio, let's jump on in. We're going to start with looking at overall energy first through oracle cards. So we're going to look at your past, present, and future energy through oracle cards first, and then we will dive deeper into the message with tarot as we progress. But let's first start with this recent past, Scorpio. What have you guys been dealing with? Feels specific. Bring love into the situation. A personal issue reaches resolution. And then the bottom is the answers you need are coming. This energy is, there's this energy of a lot of frustration surrounding something. I don't know if it's frustration towards someone else or towards yourself. But I do feel like there is also, like, in addition, a lot of self-criticism. I feel like you're dealing with something really challenging, okay? But I also feel that you're handling it way better than you think you are. But I feel like you're not able to see that right now. I don't know what this is talking about. Let's see what the energy is at currently. This is just overall energy, so it's like even if the frustration is directed at someone else, there's still a lot of self-criticism. And I feel like this bring love to the situation card is about giving yourself some grace, because I feel like you've been navigating something really challenging here. Current energy for Scorpio. Be bold and make the first move. I feel like this is about trusting yourself a little bit more than you have been, because, and this I think goes hand in hand with this past energy too, like giving yourself some more grace and trusting that you're handling something, or you're doing better than you think you are, because the self-trust is required to move you forward in some way. These cards feel very specific because they're taking a while to come out, which usually feels like they're being very like hand-picked almost. Or if this is a past situation, you handled this past situation more than you're, like, in a better way than you're giving yourself credit for. Because I feel like this feeling of trust with yourself has been ruptured. Current energy for Scorpio. Goodness sakes. Don't let pride get in your way. With don't let your past hold you back. I feel like this is talking about something that happened in your past that has you really doubting your capability to have something, achieve something, get to where you want to go. It's like you're looking at maybe ways that you made mistakes in the past, or ways that, something fell apart or didn't work out, and you're going, this is proof of, like, my limitation, or that I can't have these things, or I can't be happy or loved or abundant. And I feel like this is one of the biggest things holding you back right now. Is there's a lot of fear in moving forward because there's a lot of expectation of the past repeating itself, which makes sense. As human beings, we tend to expect what we've experienced. But I feel like Spirit is saying it's going to be different this time. It's going to be different this time. And I think it's going to be different because you're different. You've healed and grown and evolved. What does Scorpio need to know moving forward? Whoa. Communication is key. You and your loved ones are safe and prosperity lies ahead. But then on the bottom here, you have nothing is yet set in stone. So to get to this prosperity, which I feel like this prosperity was lost in the past, like you tried your best and didn't succeed kind of thing. And that has you believing that you're not capable of getting to where you want to go. But it feels like there's an opportunity coming around again. And this opportunity does require you to, because cycles repeat when we don't learn, right? And when we learn from past cycles and we heal, and we grow, and we evolve, it's going to cause us to show up in different ways as we move forward. And I feel like this is trusting new opportunities are going to end differently than they have in the past, because again, you've changed. Cycles don't need to repeat if we've learned from those cycles. But nothing is yet set in stone, which means that you have more power than you think over whether or not you can succeed and get to where you want to go. Like, you hold that key, which I feel is why you have don't let your past hold you back. Your past is no indication of what's possible for you in the future. Your past doesn't define you unless you let it. Past experiences don't get to define you unless you let them. So, and then yeah, you're very close to achieving your goal. So there are good things ahead. An opportunity coming around again. It might look different. It might not be the exact same opportunity in the exact same form, but it's still like an opportunity. It's success or abundance or something along those lines. Love. But let's look at the overall theme of this here, Scorpio. That don't let pride get in your way. What's coming to mind is the term know-it-all. And not in like a way that like you are a know-it-all, but sometimes we have this tendency to jump to conclusions about ourselves and our life because of what we've experienced. We look at past situations and we say, because I've experienced failed relationships, or, this situation didn't work out the way that I expected, that must mean I'm going to be alone forever. I'm never going to have what it is I deserve. I'm never going to be able to be successful. And I think that that's where sometimes we start to try to protect ourselves from getting hurt again, that we actually close ourselves off to the opportunity altogether. So this is having this willingness to open your heart up again, because yeah, I do feel like opportunities are coming around again. Overall theme of this for Scorpio. Guides, full moon, and magic. Well, I feel like this guides card is just this indication that you are being very heavily guided right now. You might even be receiving messages and inspiration in some way. This full moon is closing out old cycles. And I think that you've been on a journey of doing that. Closing out old cycles. And it's like this magic card, this could mean, literal magic, but I feel like what I'm kind of gathering from this is what you're able to experience, like once you fully close out this cycle, feels like magic. So one of the best things that we can do, and I talk about this a lot on my channel, is taking accountability for the role we play in our own suffering. Not from a place of fully blaming ourselves for everything or, shaming ourselves for the decisions that we made in the past, but giving us a sense of empowerment where we can say, okay, here's what I could have done better, basically, so that when presented with that opportunity, we can focus on what we can control and give the rest over. And I feel like it's almost like recognizing the mistakes that you made, but as you move forward, knowing that you now know what you know because of the mistakes you made in the past, and now you know what to do differently and how to approach things from a different place. It just kind of feels like you're receiving, like an opportunity is coming around again, but you're in a completely different place. Full moon magic. This could also mean doing some like full moon rituals, like really allowing yourself to release. I don't even know when the next full moon is. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't stay super on top of that all of the time. Not in a place in my life where I'm doing that right now. So, but yeah, that could be something about, really allowing yourself to release, shame and guilt and anger and resentment that maybe you've been holding on to from the past, so you can fully open up to new opportunities. All right, let's dive into this some more here. Scorpio, let's look at this past energy. Bring love into the situation. A personal issue reaches resolution. Recent past for Scorpio, please. Remember, this is just overall energy, so we're going to break this down. We're going to see how this all ties together. Baby. Two of Cups in reverse. So there was some sort of separation. This could be like in a relationship or like a friendship fallout or some sort of separation from something you deeply loved and cared about. The Seven of Pentacles. I feel like in this situation, there's this energy of you being very committed, very loyal, but kind of getting screwed over here. Scorpio, I think I had this all wrong in the beginning, which is kind of interesting because I feel like you've had it all wrong. It's like a plot twist. Because I feel like you're looking at something that didn't work in the past. And like I was right about kind of self-blame and self-criticism. But I feel like there was some sort of separation or something was removed from your life because it didn't fully align with what you deserved. Yeah, because this Tower, it's almost like removing something that wasn't fully aligned with you. And I feel like you've been kind of looking at this from this place of, I lost some sort of opportunity because I wasn't good enough. I wasn't, like, this person didn't see my worth or my value, and so there's this desire of wanting to go back to how things were. But if you were to go back to how things were, you'd just be in the same situation where you're, committed and loyal and showing up and not receiving what you deserve back. There's an opportunity coming back. But this is like a test of closing out a cycle and fully releasing something from your life, because we don't fully close a cycle when we leave a situation. We fully close a cycle when an opportunity returns to repeat that cycle and we choose not to. Okay. Interesting. Because you've been looking at this like, I've lost this opportunity. And Spirit saying, no, this opportunity just never aligned with what you deserved and desired in the first place. So this isn't just replacing what was lost with something that's the same, because that's just going to take you back to the same place. Current energy for Scorpio. This is so interesting and kind of confusing. I hope it's making sense. Okay, current energy for Scorpio. You didn't mess anything up. Literally. Lovers in reverse, not aligning with what it is that you deserve. You didn't mess anything up. You didn't do anything. I don't want to say you didn't do anything wrong, because I think we can always take accountability, like I said, for the role we play in our own suffering. But this is different. This is like, did I not set boundaries? Did I not stand tall in my truth? Did I not, keep my standards and expectations high? Like, what did I allow that I shouldn't have? Like, this is more so about your commitment to yourself. Current energy for Scorpio. So Spirit's actually trying to warn you about this opportunity. 8 of Pentacles and Hierophant, because here's the thing. You've worked really hard, I feel, to heal and to move forward and to get yourself in a better place, right? I said that from the beginning. I felt I was speaking to someone who'd been doing the work. It's like you've worked way too hard to go back to places. And this is so interesting because okay, sorry, I have so much coming in. Okay, you've worked so hard to go then, and come too far, to go back to places that don't align with what you deserve. And it's so interesting because I talked originally about opening yourself up to opportunity, right? To new opportunities. It is, but it's about believing that better opportunities exist so you don't go back to old opportunities, old habits, things that you have outgrown, things that have proven to be unaligned with what it is that you deserve. And this could be a certain dynamic, it could be a certain path, it could be anything, but it almost feels like what is returning, it might not be the exact same thing, but it's the same, it carries the same energy. And there's a need to be aware of not repeating the past and allowing yourself to move in a way that says, no, I deserve better. I'm capable of receiving more. It's like, it's so interesting. That's why it's like prosperity lies ahead, but nothing is set in stone. Because I feel like what's lying between you and this prosperity is a cycle. I do feel like doing some sort of like new moon ritual or full moon ritual would be really helpful. Fully releasing the past, releasing and freeing yourself from this cycle. I've never had a plot twist in a reading before. It was like in the beginning, it was like looking back at a situation with, I don't know if it's like regret or looking at it from this place of I could have done better. Like I could have, like say it's about a relationship. I could have loved them harder, or I could have, whatever. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't look at ways you could have improved. But I also feel as if there's a flip side to this where it's like this was never about you not being enough in the first place. This was about something straight up not aligning with what it is that you deserve. Which is why you have bring love into the situation, looking at this from the lens of love for yourself, believing that you are and always have been worthy and deserving of good things. So I'm starting to understand how this all ties together now. It's like a past opportunity to returns, but this whole reading had a plot twist. Okay, what does Scorpio need to know moving forward? Three of Cups. This is about finding the spaces that you belong in. There it is, Ace of Pentacles. But you can't find where you belong if you keep choosing spaces and people that don't align. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Scorpio, you're being asked to, from a place of love, demand more for yourself. Because I feel like you've been somehow believing that the things that you've been receiving is like as good as it can get for you. And Spirit, through all of this, is trying to get you to raise your standards in some way. Standards for how you're treated, standards for how you're compensated, standards for how, you're loved. And to understand that, and it's not that you have low standards. I just feel like this is about allowing yourself to expect more in your life, like allowing yourself to expect more out of friendships. If you give and give and give in relationships and you're constantly receiving less, expect more. If friendships aren't aligning with what it is that you deserve and desire, that's your sign that that isn't meant for you, right? That's your sign to walk away. Same thing with romantic relationships, same thing with a job. Like, this is about understanding that there are better spaces available to you. But this cycle of like accepting less or trying to make less than what you deserve fit or work is the biggest thing holding you back from these opportunities that would bring you so much more abundance and prosperity. So this is about saying no to repeating cycles with people and situations that aren't aligning with you so you can say yes to what you've been deserving of all along. This is so interesting. Seriously, that took a turn. Saying no to what doesn't serve you is the same thing as saying yes to what you deserve, even if you don't know that it exists yet. But you don't want to let your past hold you back. Okay. Scorpio, we're going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to dive deeper into this, looking at just in general, diving deeper into the message, but ultimately answering the question, what do you need to do right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? So then I've got an advice card to pull for you at the very end. Any information for that is in the description box below. Thank you so much, Scorpio, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Scorpio.